that out of my mind.
Hey, good morning. Welcome to the Stokastic.com NFL First Look Strategy Show. Now, some of you may be saying, well, it's basketball day. It can be both. It can be both. Hopefully, you just watch Josh's NBA Strategy Show 9 a.m. every day and are ported over here to watch some NFL action. Now, of course, we don't have the slate kicking off until Sunday, but what does that matter? This is where we prep. This is where we recap the previous week, and we sit down, we have a good time, and help you pass the time throughout the day. So, as always, appreciate you guys being here. Take a single second. Atone for your sins this morning. Hit that thumbs up. Maybe it's at night. Maybe you're watching in the afternoon. Hit that thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. And let's get into it. What's up, brother? Ben Rasa with me, as always.
It's a good day. I was just saying, Champions League. Hockey, bet the Flyers last night. Thank you. Good job for your boys. Easy money. Cracking a dumpster fire. NBA, first look NFL. It's not bad for a Tuesday. I'm actually feeling pretty good.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. I had a terrible night last night, man. Just terrible. Everything went wrong. I know you had a good betting night and you got some tickets. I'm happy for you. I'm not happy about my night. But we move on. I always come into these Tuesday shows. You guys will typically never know, right? But, here's a peek behind the – I always come in like my mood is very much dictated by how Sunday and Monday went internally, Ben, or talking to you pre-show. But you got to put on a face. Nah, I mean, it is what it is. It's just like the two gamers, man, it's just been brutal for me this year.
Yeah. I mean, they're such – last night was bizarre because you had – multiple chalk pieces get not underperform, get literal zero, actually zero. And so that was a weird situation. None of the quarterbacks were outstanding. Obviously Gibbs was. It was just a strange night. So yeah.
Evans injury early on. I had a 3-leg parlay. Amon-Ra St. Brown to score a touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs 25 plus receiving yards. They did it literally on the first 3 plays of the game. And Mike Evans anytime touchdown.
Also yesterday. Yeah,
also Bet365 not only refunded it. Did you see that? But they didn't only refund it. They paid me out the full price of what it would be if I won as an act of good faith. So I said, I was like, man, I have burned a lot of accounts not knowing how to create a healthy account over the years. They must think I'm a true dullard, Ben. I'm going to do everything I can to keep that account healthy.
All about keeping those accounts. Like I said, that is something we talk about a lot. This is not the show for it, but I think that's one of the biggest pet peeves of mine is people think that if you're winning, you get limited. That is not true. It's a correlation for sure. But if you're doing something and the books don't understand what you're doing, you will not get limited. In fact, you might get extra bonuses because they don't view what you're doing as advantageous. So just keep that in mind. That if you want to learn more about that, that's a Tails question. But yeah, the only other thing I want to mention, how weird was yesterday? I don't know about you and Chad. I'm sure some of you felt this. I couldn't put in bets on FanDuel. I could not bet on FanDuel.
I swore. Because in early afternoon, I'm like, all right, they'll fix it. I'll find some odds elsewhere that are similar, or I'll wait. It's like 30 minutes before kickoff, and I go, and it still did it just never come? I didn't get a single bet in on FanDuel yesterday.
Yeah, New York was down for a really long time. It was just
was it the Amazon website, the AWS that brought them down?
Yep. Yeah. It was crazy. It was, New Jersey got absolutely smoked too. Fanatics. It was just a weird night overall, but I'll take it. I feel good. We got a new slate. Yeah. Vibes are high.
Good. Not me. All right. Let's talk about last week real quick here. In Brian Callahan's absence, still nothing went well. They're 14-point dogs this week. The Jets, Justin Fields, feel free to pile on. I'll take the lumps. But make sure to say, Loughy, how about that Gadsden call?
That would have done it for me.
Let it go both ways. Let it go both ways.
How about those Eagle stacks? Can I take a victory lap?
I already did shout you out on that one yesterday,
you.
pretty heavily on the show, but I'll do it again. Yeah, that was solid. Doubles, too. How often do you see a Jalen Hurts, Devontae, and Brown double stack come through in that fashion? Great stuff. I did ladder Addison up to 100 on the other side.
That was the key. Jefferson dropped that touchdown. You needed Addison on the other side.
Yep. That Adoree Jackson, Keelan Ringo treatment. But there was some good. There was some bad. I ended up having like just a neutral Sunday.
Same.
I can live with that. That's no problem. You know, did I have a little too much Fields? Yeah, I think I had total like 13% Justin Fields. I spread quarterback exposure out quite a bit though, because there were a lot of guys I really liked. You want to know who really hurt me? It wasn't Fields because I didn't have that much of him. It was Breece Hall. I'm pretty sure I had like 35% Breece Hall. And I'm looking at all of my lineups with fire emojis at literally every position except for Breece Hall. So everyone's like, oh, Fields sucked, Loughy. I know, he sucked. We said it was in the cards. He might give you 0, he might give you 30. It just so happened he got benched, as we talked about. However, that, at the end of the day, like I can do without those 13. It was the 35, 40% Breece Hall I had that really was the dagger for me, which could have been a huge week.
Same, no doubt about it. My Fields lineups were non-starters. Breece Hall was in some critically important lineups for me. And that hurt because Judkins got there. Several other backs got there, and Breece Hall was terrible. The only other thing I want to not even address, Rashee Rice, I thought that was a pretty typical run out of he underwhelmed in my book and he scored twice. Like, it's just the Chiefs seemed intent on letting him get in the end zone. And that's kind of just how you take that. So it was, I felt a little frustrated because I felt like I got a lot of it right on the volume side. And I had some Rashee Rice, so it didn't kill me, but that was kind of annoying because there were paths where he really didn't get there. You could say the same about Judkins in some regards. He had 3 touchdowns, so that'll do it.
No, you know why I see them a little bit differently at the very least is because we were right about the Judkins volume. Yes. And when you have 25 touches, typically he had 2 Wildcat touchdowns, by the way. I didn't have that in my cards, but when you have 25 touches, you know what I mean? Like, even if he underperformed, Ben, if you told me he was going to get 25 touches in that spot again, I'm going back to the well 1,000 times.
Well, that's the thing. And that's where on both sides of that discussion, it's kind of like, I don't know how much I really regret on both. If you would have told me Rashee Rice's yards, I'm not sure I would have wanted to get there. But yeah, it was also defense. The Browns defense got like 30. Kind of have to just live with that. And then for me, the killer was the Chargers. Not that I didn't have them. I just picked Ladd a little more than everyone else. And he was fine, but he wasn't nearly as good as Quentin Johnston, Gadsden, even Keenan Allen. And that really
Quentin Johnston was terrible.
He scored.
He did, but he had like 2 for 30.
Did he? Okay. I didn't even know that because
it was Gadsden, man. Like Gadsden and Allen you needed. Yeah.
Yeah, that was not happening. So
you want to know how I know this? Because I had Quentin Johnston in some really sick Herbert lineups too. So
yeah,
you had Ladd, I had Herbert. You needed Gadsden in those Herbert lineups, but also, Marvin, stop blaming for mistakes. Look, I promise you that this is okay because I will certainly victory lap if I'm right, so I can handle it. However, this is the first time I've actually gotten chewed out this season, so we must not be doing too bad. But yeah, Fields was a giant whiff. It was in the cards. Like it's always in the cards. I will say this is why I love our audience though, Ben. See this? Muhammad says going back to Fields if he starts. I love this mentality. Some people aren't afraid of a little bit of controversy.
You shouldn't be.
No, you can't be. You can't be. Can't be.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. No, it's not the best content because content, everyone likes to speak in absolutes. Like when a team wins by 40, it's like they should have been a 39-point favorite. And it's like, none of this is how it works. If you could run back things, society would be a lot better off because you would see wait, why did Fields get 27 the next game? Or he could get 0 again. It's just all. So I love the bubble. That was the one cool thing about the pandemic basketball. They played with no home court, and the game would play, and the team would win by 30, but the spread wouldn't move from the last game. And it's like, yeah, because the outcome actually doesn't mean anything because it's one version of a billion sample size.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, and also football is such a small, you look at the sample size over the course of an NFL season, it's minuscule.
It's very, 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 very random. But let's dive into, we got to go. It's not a great Goblin week, to be honest.
It's really not, huh?
No.
Well,
that's all right.
We can try it out and see what we got. I mean, you can't top last week, right? You simply cannot top Goblin of the Week where Brian Callahan gets the boot. That's never going to happen. Yeah. But it is time for Goblin of the Week. Presented by Brandon Staley and Nathaniel Hackett. Nice work. I'm very curious to see what chat says. I do have one, though.
Go ahead.
All right, listen, man. You give up 33 points in a single quarter.
Oh, the Giants.
You can't do that. You simply can't do that. I mean, it helped me because I had a lot of Bo Nix, but you can't give up 33 points in a quarter. That is one of the most insane things I've ever seen in my life. Now, it sucks because the Giants played well for 45 minutes. Jackson Dart played a great game, led him down the field, which should have been another, like a game-winning drive. I got to goblinize them. You give up 33 points in a quarter to lose a game. Is that the first time it's ever happened? Like that may be the first time. Go ahead.
They broke. I know the Broncos broke several records of certainly most points. They had 0 points going into the fourth quarter, which is insane. Knicks had 2 rushing and 2 passing touchdowns in the fourth quarter. No one's ever done that. There was a multitude of first time things that the Broncos did.
It's insane to me. Who do you have?
I mean, mine is very boring, but it honestly is the thing that stood out to me. The refs are just, it's not even that they're bad. The NFL needs to figure out something because I've been saying this and I don't know why it just dawned on me. There's 11 guys on the field, right? If you throw 4 passes, if it's late in the game and you have to pass, you're dropping back 4 times. At any point, if any of those 11 players does a hold, an illegal contact, a pass interference, if they're offsides, face mask, it's a pen. It seems borderline impossible to get through a drive without a penalty at this point. And they need to figure something out when pass interference. They need to make it the college rule. Because if you just throw it 4 times down the field, there's a pretty good chance that it'll be pass interference. And we saw it in the Broncos game. It's just so hard to watch. Not to mention, they're getting more and more tripped up. I saw multiple things, even last night, Loughy. I don't know if you watched the Lions game. They're okay, I'm going to challenge. Oh, okay, it's a first down.
And then they review it again.
We're re-challenging. Okay, actually he's short. And it's just
it was basically, we're challenging whether it's a catch or not. And then they review it and they say it is a catch and a first down. And then they're like, wait a second, we're going to go review it again. They review it again and they say, well, it is a catch, but he's short of the first down. If I'm Tampa there, if I'm Baker Mayfield, if I'm, and Todd Bowles, I'm pissed off at that.
It's bad. It's bad optics.
You know what's funny you say that, man? I actually went in the other day during Sunday, and I think it was Sunday night. And I was poking around to see if I could find penalty stats. And I wanted to see if pass interference calls were up from the previous seasons. It's saying they're not, but it feels like defensive pass interference is called 5 times a game now, where it used to be maybe 1 or 2.
Blatant ones. Half the time when they show them, I genuinely don't even. It looks like 2 guys hand fighting.
Hand fight. That's it.
And it's just really tough. I don't know.
If you have your hand on a jersey, right, for a second, but it doesn't shift the direction of the player and makes no difference, he doesn't even notice it, that shouldn't be a penalty.
It's just rough. And it's just like, and I'm not saying this is wrong, but penalties are, barring offsides, they're automatic first downs. And it's just like, you can't get through a drive with two, 3, 4 penalties every time. It's really, really tough. I don't know. It's not even, like I said, it's not even just the officials have been bad. It's just the game is being officiated in a way that makes it really tough to watch. From that to and I get why they do this, but half the time like New York buzzed us. And it's like, I don't even know if I believe that half the time. Like, you might have just been late. Half the time you need to challenge. Half the time they challenge for you. They're like, expedited review. It's really janky rules, and it's going to flare up in the playoffs, and somebody is going to get screwed, and everyone's going to complain, and then nothing will change.
One more thing on this. Have you noticed how players seem to get their way when...
Oh, you just ask for a flag. You literally just turn and you say, throw the flag.
You go like that, the flag comes in 10 seconds later. Like, the play's over, everyone's walking back to the huddle, and then you just see a flag come in out of the side of the screen. I'm not crazy, right? Like, that's happening all the time now when an offensive player, particularly a good wide receiver, just kind of looks over at the ref and signals PI.
Very, very good point. I should have mentioned that. It is nuts how if you did this, you would have no future in the league. If you refuse to do that, you would cost your team legitimate equity every single game if you did not complain. Like, on big third downs, you have to get up and do that. Not to mention, one more thing that is ridiculous, and this is happening too much. They show a play. There's a little dust up. Ref throws the flag. And then they're like, oh, yeah, no penalty. And it's just like, well, what happened between when you threw it 25 seconds ago? I see the guy looking at the play. He views it as a flag. He throws it. And then they're like, there was no foul. It's like, well, what happened? Why are you? I don't understand.
I know.
It's really rough right now out there.
It's tough. But guess what? The good thing is we still got some good football to talk about. This is actually a really fun slate. And we're going to dive into it right now, Ben. I got DraftKings pulled up. We don't have any tools updated yet, right? I mean, it's so early in the week, but I like to break it down this way. And I know you do as well. So we'll start at the quarterback position as we always do. We'll work our way through. And up top could not be more interesting to me. And by up top, let me just say 6K plus. And this may sound insane, but I don't think Josh Allen makes it into a lot of my teams this week, because if you were to look at the positions, and I am going to actually just go around the horn real quick for you guys. There are some really good running back plays at expensive price points. There are some very good receivers at expensive price points. There are some good tight ends at expensive price points, but not that many. What's crazy to me, and I'm sure you've seen this, dude, you have the quarterback position where you got all these 6K guys, but DraftKings decided to price a lot of guys in the 4K range. Mind you, you may have Kirk Cousins this week. You might. Andy Dalton, probably not a spot I want to get to. You have Rattler at 4,700, Penix against Miami at 4,900. Fields, there you guys go. If you guys do it, I'll do it with you. I will do that, honestly. Just what's the word in what? I will do that in
solidarity,
not unity. Solidarity. Thank you. I will do that in solidarity with you guys. Just send me the lineups. Show me proof. You gotta show me proof. Nah, for real though. I might run some Fields lineups with you guys. But yeah, you see this though? Like, it just kind of falls off a cliff once you get past Bo Nix. But you got Knicks versus Dallas, Daniel Jones versus Tennessee, Baker against New Orleans, although he may be down even more players again this week. Hurts against the Giants. Jackson, Lamar, if he plays against Chicago. Wait till you see Derrick Henry's price point. So really interesting quarterback position to me.
Yeah, I like this. It forces decision points. I think pricing has been objectively bad isn't the right word, but it's been soft all year. and it's starting to get a little tougher. I prefer that. I think Bo Nix is clearly the guy that I would look to. Maybe people were 1 week early, not even just because of that fourth quarter, but he's got the dream matchup. He's at home. He's a reasonable price in a week that salary matters. We'll see what's up with Lamar. Obviously, that's going to be a decision point. Josh Allen's Josh Allen. Yeah, it's a fine week, but for a lot of these guys, they're in tougher matchups. Like Dak's a fascinating one. He's been playing at an unbelievable level. In Denver's about as rough as it can go, but also we did see the Giants move the ball last week. I would prefer Nix on the other side, Allen, and Baker's Baker. Like Baker, whoever's out there, he'll make do.
I'm with you. Dak's a tough one. Like, does Dak just end up being unowned? And, like him and CeeDee Lamb, because CeeDee Lamb's going to see some Patrick Surtain. Does that make them viable? Well, I guess the tough part for me is that it's such an expensive stack this week in Denver. I mean, Ferguson's up to $6K, Ben. Pickens is still north of 7,000. Lamb's at 7,800. And then Dak is the fourth most expensive quarterback as well. It just feels tough to get there, even if you kind of like them. Yeah, Einsteinium said it. Dak stacks are so expensive, but they'll have no ownership. I guess it's just like if I do that, it's almost a guarantee that I have to fade some really, really good chalk. And maybe you should, but it's almost a guarantee that you have to.
I doubt I do that. Yeah, I would rather do a multitude of other things. Honestly, I'd rather Caleb Williams. I know he's not in the sixes, but he's there against the Ravens defense that is just atrocious. And then you mentioned there are starters, not backups, starters in the 4K range, like not guys who got thrown in off injuries, where it's like, oh, we're playing a random guy. Like, I know it's a disaster, but I mean, they seem intent on not firing Mike McDaniel, which doesn't make any sense. What's up with Tua?
That might be a spot that I can't get to right now.
I mean, he's horrendous, but if they're going to roll him out there and he's sub 5K, I might have to, in a dome, I might have to look to that.
I don't think you're wrong to consider it at all.
But
I have a lot of respect for Atlanta's defense.
So do I have no respect for anything that the Dolphins do. Literally zero. I couldn't respect any organization less.
Nope. I mean, I bet the Niners against Atlanta this week.
Yes,
and you did too. Yeah. And it just, why? It felt like that spot. It just felt Falcons had a big win against Buffalo last week. Niners, tough loss, but Mac Jones, I actually think Mac Jones is pretty good. At the very least, good enough when you have Christian McCaffrey out there. McCaffrey dominant, but overall, I have respect for this Atlanta defense. Probably don't get to a ton of Tua, but Ben, I wouldn't blame you at 4,800. I definitely wouldn't. The other thing though is, like, what if Michael Penix is out and Kirk Cousins starts? Or what if Michael Penix is in? He's $4,900. I tend to want to just get to Bijan for the most part. Maybe even like Bijan London or Bijan Pitts or something like that, and just fade the quarterback position altogether. But you've got two sub 5K quarterbacks, whichever one of these guys plays, against just, a truly terrible Miami team. Miami might be the worst team in the league right now, alongside Tennessee.
Oh, they're the worst team. I don't think it's particularly close, honestly. That was the easiest bet of the week, was the Browns. Even I had that one.
Yeah, it was the first bet I plugged in last week.
They're terrible. You have also Andy Dalton is right there. Don't forget. He's another one. I'm not ruling him out.
No, it's right. Tough spot. But I don't know about Buffalo right now, man.
I don't think it's that tough a spot. I'm not saying it's a great spot, but I don't think it's the toughest spot in the world at home against Buffalo.
Yeah, Penix had his way with them last week.
And again, Buffalo, they're lucky they banked some of those miraculous wins because, they were on the other side of the Ravens meltdown and some of those games early. Buffalo's got some serious issues for a good team.
That's a good point. Like that Ravens game absolutely should have lost that.
Yeah. When you, again, and I love the Bills. Like I absolutely root for them. They're 4-2. Their wins, they beat the Ravens by 1 point. Then they beat the Jets, the Dolphins, and the Saints. What is that? 3 of the bottom 5 teams in the league?
Yeah. What is that? 2 combined wins? No, but 3 combined wins?
I mean, bring the Ravens in.
I did.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
No, I'm saying I brought the Ravens in. I think it's still 3 combined. Maybe
like
the Dolphins have 2 wins. Maybe the Dolphins have 2 wins, but
probably because they played the Jets.
They don't. They are 1-6. The Saints are probably
Saints have 1 win.
Right? They got 1 win against
so what's it,
New
3
York.
and like 25?
What's that?
It's like 3 and 25-ish.
I gotta. Who else did they play?
The Jets, who have no wins.
Oh, 0-7, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 3-25. 3-25.
I mean, how good? Like again, I think the Bills are good, but what have they done?
Also, if the Saints didn't try the Philly special and maybe just ran like some type of traditional play, that game was tied.
But yeah, as like 14 point. I'm just saying, I think the Bills have some real questions to answer because.
Agreed. I will say though, up top, and I don't mean all the way up top, but like, and you know, this is not a secret. Bo Nix against Dallas is interesting this week.
Oh yeah,
it just flat out is. I love the idea of going back to the well with Baker. You know, Emeka Ibuka, Otten stacks, assuming Mike Evans remains out. I have no clue about Chris Godwin. Jalen Hurts is interesting, but maybe this ends up, and I saw chat mention this. I'm glad you guys did because I was going to bring it up as well. Maybe it ends up being a Saquon Barkley week. You know, you've got all of these extraordinarily high-priced options at the running back position, Ben, right? You have Jonathan Taylor now at 9,500. I'll tell you something crazy too. So he has 3 games this season with 3 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of guys out there. Most players in the league have 3 or fewer rushing touchdowns on the season. He has 3 rushing touchdowns in 3 of his last 5 games.
He's amazing. And the Colts, seemingly just by being normal, have solved it, which I don't understand. You move the ball, you move the ball, you move the ball, you get to the red zone. Let's try a trick play. Like, you know what the Colts do? They move the ball, they move the ball, they move the ball, then they just keep giving it to Jonathan Taylor because that's how they got down there, and then he scores.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really understand. Like, oh, we're on the 3-yard line. Like, we'll run it, and you get to the 2, and then it's like, well, we got to do something else now. Why don't you just run it again? And they do that. The Colts are very consistent. The problem with Jonathan Taylor, at 9,500, you almost need him to have 3 touchdowns. And as much as he's been doing that, that's not a real thing. Like, you can't really project that.
I'm going to have a very tough time getting to Taylor at almost 10K. I'm going to have a real tough time getting there.
He doesn't really have this is almost like Derrick Henry land because you don't have an out in the receiving game. He's not a 0, but he's not going to give you, like, when McCaffrey's up there, he might have 10 targets.
Yeah, or like if Gibbs were up there without Montgomery in the backfield too.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, if you have the money, go ahead, but you don't know. We don't know, but the tricky thing about this is if Jonathan Taylor gives you 27, I'm not sure I would sign for that.
I don't think I know I wouldn't. The way that these slates have been scored lately, where you need like a 240 to win these contests, 27 from Taylor, I don't think is enough.
So if you go, I just want to do this real quick. 100 yards, 2 touchdowns, that's 25. 3 catches for 30. Yeah. 100 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 catches, 30 yards. That's 31. That is brutally difficult to ask for.
I mean, it's very doable, but it's also 9,500. The other question though is, all right, so what other running backs could do that? And I mean, Derrick Henry, if Lamar Jackson plays, Ben, is $6,000 today. And I know everybody wants to talk about how he's washed. He still, this is the funny thing to me. He's still averaging 5 yards per attempt on the season. He still had 24 carries last game. They got blown out against Kansas City, blown out against Houston. You look at his first game of the season, he had 3 runs of 40 plus. Against Cleveland, sure, that sucked. But the Buffalo game, dominated. And then some of these other spots, he just got phased out of the game. $6,000 if Lamar plays against the Chicago team that's averaging almost 5.5 yards per attempt on the ground. The Ravens looking for a real way to get back into the playoff picture. Sounds crazy, but the odds would suggest it's not over yet. And Pittsburgh just lost to Cincinnati on Thursday night. They got, they got the Packers in Pittsburgh this week. It's still in reach. And the defense, as bad as they were, and I'm certainly not saying they're good, you're still talking about a team that was dealing with an insane amount of injuries. Now they're coming off of a bye. So they probably get, outside of like Matabuka, who's just on the IR, they probably get most, if not everybody, back on the defensive end, which is a huge boon for Derrick Henry. I don't know if people realize enough how ineffective a bad defense can make Derrick Henry. Like, it can take him out of a game. $6K to me is one of the most insane price points of the year if Lamar plays. You can call him a decimal back and you'd be 100% right. But I'd have a real tough time getting away from that against the Bears.
Yeah, I anticipate definitely getting some. We'll see what ownership looks like. We'll see if value opens up. But you do have guys there. Rachaad White was not good last night, but I'm not going away from him by any stretch. That was just a tough matchup. And then you've got honestly, Breece Hall. I know he's someone that at chalk has failed a little while, but if he goes and plummets at 61, I'll probably look to him. We'll see what's going on with the Jets in general, but it's going to be fascinating because Jonathan Taylor on a raw points basis might be the guy, but if a lot of other high-priced guys have effective games or there's no low-priced guys that have effective games, he could be in a bit of trouble at 9,500. That is a massive price tag.
It's insane. I mean, Bijan,
I have to do it.
Bijan to me is just an absolutely stellar option on this slate.
He's always, because he's the best.
He's the man. I know you've been a huge Bijan guy from the jump, but against Miami at home, man, like if I'm paying up, I'll probably save the 700. The big difference between Bijan and Taylor, well, there's two really. Bijan Robinson is an elite pass catching back, right? Upper echelon. I don't know how many are better than him. He's in the same pass catching category as Jahmyr Gibbs and Christian McCaffrey. I don't think that's even a debate. He's that good. But also, Tyler Algier can vulture touchdowns. And when it comes to Jonathan Taylor, yeah, Daniel Jones in week 1 against Miami vultured some, sure. But Jonathan Taylor has 36 red zone carries this season. He has 23 inside the 10, which is insane. He already has 13 goal line carries. That is one really notable difference between him and Bijan Robinson is Bijan is not guaranteed to get the goal line carries and actually has fewer of them than Tyler Algier this year. That is the biggest differentiator. Now, can he make up for that in the passing game? Absolutely. But I hate knowing that he could do all of the work to get down to the goal line, orchestrate an entire 80-yard drive, and then Algier comes in and vultures.
Yeah. It's just kind of the risk. All of these guys have different, even the upper echelon, they still all have red flags. That's just the nature of it. I mean, the Colts have geared down in multiple games, and rightfully so. There's definitely a chance if Taylor doesn't get there early, at home against Tennessee that he's simply not going to get the volume. They need to keep him fresh. McCaffrey's got a tough matchup. I don't think people will play him. Achane is on a dysfunctional team. There's some guys, though, like, someone that'll be interesting, like a James Cook. Because I don't hate that spot, and I don't think people will go to him, but it's still a good player on an elite offense who has, you want 3 touchdown upside. James Cook has that every single week.
Yeah, it's really funny you'd mention him, because when I was going through all of this last night, I was thinking about, like, I come down to James Cook, right? And I'm thinking about Ron, who last year took down the Millie, right? Our friend Bunt Cake. And he did it. I know I mentioned this a lot, but James Cook was 2% there.
Yeah.
And it speaks exactly to what you just said. This is the exact thought that went through my mind, right? We had multiple Millie winners last year. We already have Millie winners this year. I'll tell you how to get the Sims for free in a minute for those of you guys who don't already know. But I got to thinking, like, no one expected that type of game from James Cook there. Nobody. He was 2% owned. He has, you're right, 3 touchdown upside in literally any game. He's 6,700. His snap count has been way up this year. He's dominating rushing attempts out of the backfield. He, to me, always makes for our typical, like, play good guys in spots where they're not going to be popular. I don't think he's going to be that popular with the way Carolina's run defense has played lately.
I agree. And again, those are the type of leverage spots that you're going to be balancing. So we'll see. It's first look. Obviously, some of the ownership will dictate this. Tiffany, Sim shout out. I like to see this. This is what I'm talking about. Let's bring this on the screen. Big thank you to Loughy, myself, and Greg for helping Groundhog 2282 win 2 golds and a silver last night. Keep it going.
Yeah, thank you, Tiffany. She actually tweeted us. I saw that and responded over on the Twitter machine as well.
Love it.
Yeah, congrats. I love that the tools are working for you, Tiffany. And again, you guys ever want to get access to these tools? I mean, there's truly is not a simpler way to do it. Literally just use the link in the description that says sign up with our partners to get the DFS Sims for free. Click claim offer on any of these. And people, if you're like, I don't have illegal sports betting, doesn't matter. Onyx is a sweepstakes book. Spend 10 and you're in over on Onyx. It's available in 40 plus states. Better, Sleeper, Underdog, Pick 6. You have all of these other sports books and pick'em sites. You click claim offer, otherwise we can't track you. That's it. Then sign up, deposit. It's $5 or $10 minimum deposit. Place a bet or a pick'em lineup, and the moment that settles, simply send us your screenshots. Us, not the books. Support at Stokastic.com. Tell us what you want. That's it. Could not be an easier process, Ben. I've got to tell you. I know sometimes people see that and they're like, oh, I have to do this and I have to do that. You really don't have to do much at all. Like, literally all you're doing is signing up, depositing as you would on any other sports. Plus you're getting the bonus bets and the matches. And then the only step you'd take otherwise is just taking quick screenshots and emailing us. And every single, real quick, every single one of these equals another month of The Sims. NBA starts today. So if you wanted a month of NBA and a month of NFL, run it literally all the way up to Thanksgiving. Just sign up with 2 of these. You're spending minimum $10, max 20 for like $300 worth of NFL and NBA subscriptions. And you're getting your bonus bets and match deposits. It's the best deal we have.
No doubt about it. And it's true. Yeah. And there'll be plenty of things to bet on. You take a bet, come sweat out an afternoon game with me. I'll be dropping bets all day, and then you're literally in business. So it's just a good time. It's a great time of the year. Obviously, it doesn't get better than having, we don't get to say this often. It happens to all 4 major sports. This is the time of the year. Everything is running at the same time. It's pretty cool.
Brandon Katz, you are aware that Kalshi's already in America, right? Anyway, yeah, James Cook is one of those guys that could RJ Hilliard. No, you get all of the tools. It's the core sim. So you get the single lineup sim, pre-contest sim, late swap, post-contest sim, ownership, player projections, boom bust, top stacks, all of that. You get everything. Yep. All of it. So yeah, check it out. I say it's the best deal, but also I should mention to you guys that you can get today and tomorrow all access NBA for $1 with the link down there as well, Ben. It preloads the code straight in, so you don't have to even use the promo code. Just use the link in the description. $1 access to all NBA. $1 million prize pool if FanDuel works today with guaranteed overlay. $750K on DraftKings. Tomorrow, a 12-game slate. You're going to have a huge main and night slate. And if you're someone that says, I just want to have it for the month, any NBA package, core or max, or any all access package, core max, 20% off. Link is down there as well. So for no matter what style of player you are, we got it for you guys. We got you covered. And I should also mention, if you are a current NFL user and you're like, I want NBA, let me get all access, you can still get the 20% off. Just email us and let Ron know, and he'll take care of you quick. And he'll upgrade you with 20% off on your account. So a lot of stuff going on right now. Take advantage of it. All right, Ben. Last thing at running back that I want to ask you here. You've got a lot of good options, but a couple guys we haven't talked about that may be a little bit cheaper. I don't love the dirt cheap range. I probably don't go to Algier, even though, because it's a 10-game slate.
No, definitely not.
I'm going to ask you about 3 different players. And then after you give me your thoughts, I'll tell you how I rank them this week. They're all, and I like Derrick Henry, already mentioned that. They're all sub 6K. DeAndre Swift at Baltimore, J.K. Dobbins at home against Dallas, Chase Brown at home against the New York Jets, coming off far and away his most efficient game of the season on Thursday night.
So the thing why these guys are relevant, I think for different reasons. So I think Swift is interesting just because I actually just think he's pretty good in life. He's running extremely effectively. Maybe that's who he's been playing, but look at his last 2 games. The efficiency is off the charts. They're trusting him. The Monangai situation, I don't think is that big of a deal. The other 2, when you're cheap like this, unlike Jonathan Taylor, the touchdown equity can just get you there. Like Dobbins, I don't think is going to have some like crazy workload. But it doesn't matter because if he falls in the end zone twice, he automatically gets there at a sub 6K price point. Chase Brown, how often has Cincy been able to play with a comfortable lead? And it's very possible, even dare I say likely, that they'll be doing that this week. So I get it. If I had to pick one, I actually think Dobbins fits the bill the most as a salary relief option.
For me, it's Dobbins, Chase, and then Swift as a distant third.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I still think, ironically, Swift has the clearest path to like a tactical nuke game just because he's not nearly as reliant on his touchdowns. But he also has like 12 for 48 and 2 targets, and that's his game.
For sure. We'd agree that none of these guys are like mega chalk, can't miss options like we saw with like Judkins types or like Rico Dowdle and Rashad White at their price points when, you know, Bucky Irving got hurt and when Chuba Hubbard got hurt. But Chase Brown at the very least is pretty interesting here. And if they play with a lead, which is actually possible, who would have thought? You could see a lot more work going his way. Like you could see a week 1 workload kind of going his way, don't you think?
Absolutely. I think that. So, you know, again, a lot of this is dependent on how much salary relief we get in the past couple of weeks. And so far this year, chalk has been crazy hitting at these low price points. That won't always be the case. So, yeah, we'll see.
Yep. That's right. All right. Thanks, Josh. Wide receiver?
Let's do it. Let's talk about it.
Wasn't sure if there's anyone else you like there. I will recap running back though, and say if there's anyone I'm missing. Taylor, he has to be in the conversation regardless. They're 14-point home favorites. Yeah. Bijan, Barkley's very interesting. James Cook, Rashad, Henry, if Lamar plays, maybe even if he doesn't, honestly. But Dobbins, Brown, Swift, two guys real quick. I need your personal thoughts here. I can't believe we didn't talk about them. One, McCaffrey is going up against the Houston defense in Houston. Two, Quinshon Judkins at New England. Do you think there's any viability to Judkins this week? I hate playing Cleveland on the road against good defenses, but I threw him in there just in case you wanted to get weird this week. So McCaffrey and Judkins, thoughts before we go to wide receiver?
I always like to get weird. I don't think it's going to be with Judkins, though.
Me neither.
McCaffrey's more interesting for sure, just because, as I've said a lot, if I'm going to leverage, I love to leverage with my best player. I think that's a cool strategy.
And McCaffrey could so easily get there on volume alone. He had 32 opportunities last game. It just never ends. And he looks healthier than he's ever been, Ben. In that game, he looks as healthy as could possibly be. It is a very difficult matchup in Houston, no doubt about it. McCaffrey is expensive, but you can't just write him off because he's in a bad matchup. No chance.
Definitely not.
Wide receiver. What do you want to do with Jamar Chase up top this week? Joe Flacco clearly understood the assignment. Get Chase the football by any means necessary. Get Jamar Chase the football. That's exactly what he did. He had 23 targets, 16 for 161, and another nasty touchdown. He's the best in the game, man. There's a lot of great players out there. JSN is phenomenal. Ibuka's on the rise. CeeDee Lamb is amazing. A.J. Brown, just throw him the football. He's going to catch it. The list goes on and on. Amon-Ra St. Brown, right? Puka Nacua. I personally can't put anybody above Jamar Chase right now. I just think this guy is, and despite the drops he had in that game, he's just, at the very least, and I tweeted this on Thursday night, he is, to me, the most fun player to watch in all of the NFL. I don't think there's a more exciting player to watch in football than Jamar Chase right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's very, very good. And I don't really understand why. Obviously, I'm not going to pretend to get the intricacies of football, but I don't really understand why more teams, I know this sounds stupid, but I'm being 100% serious, why they don't adopt this strategy, particularly if you're a bad team, of just like, okay, why don't we just throw it to our best player every play? Every play until they, like, if they bracket him, fine, we'll live with that. I don't really understand that because teams seem reluctant to do that, and the Bengals did it, and look what happened. So that's fine. That the thing that was most interesting to me is that Jamar Chase is every bit as effective as Jonathan Taylor, except wide receiver pricing is not like that. You're only paying $8,100, and to me, that's a lot more feasible to get into your lineups. He is far and away my favorite pay up option. The Cowboys guys, that's a tough sell. Ibuka, sure, we'll make sure he escaped without injury because Mike Evans, it seems, is done for the year now.
Is that what they're saying?
I mean, he broke a collarbone. So
I saw the shoulder. I didn't know it was confirmed broken collarbone. Every time Mike Evans returns from an injury, he seems to re-aggravate or suffer another injury in that ensuing game. He did it last year too against Baltimore.
Yeah, I mean, that was a situation for me, just not that anyone cares about this, but personally last night that I got right for the wrong reason. I was way under on Evans because I was worried he was going to re-injure a hamstring. And obviously that's not what happened.
Sometimes the stars just align, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it was just a freak thing. He also had a concussion, but yeah, he broke a collarbone, so I think that's it for him. Ibuka, Drake London. But yeah, I'm not going to bury the lead. Jamar Chase. The only thing about Jamar Chase here that could be a little different, what happens if and when, since he's playing from ahead, will they give him a more methodical workload?
That's probably the reason that's probably the reason that I want to get to Chase, but I don't know how overweight I want to be on him yet because you are paying a premium.
Sure. If I pay up, it's him, but I don't know if I'll pay up at all.
Also, the reason Chase looks even better is Sauce Gardner is in concussion protocol. Like if you're without Sauce Gardner, who has actually been a lot better than people have given him credit. He's been really good this year, really good. He'll miss some tackles and stuff. They say he's a pussy and doesn't want to tackle. They say that about a lot of players, right? They always said it about Slay, but he was great in coverage. But Sauce Gardner, as far as separation goes, no corner has allowed less separation to opposing receivers than Gardner. I bet that Tetterella McMillan under 57.5 or whatever it was, he finished with 3 for 33. Sauce largely shut him down. So if Gardner's out, Ben, they may have their way with the Jets passing game or with their secondary. And if that's the case, I like Chase a whole lot more. I don't think anyone can stop Chase right now, to be clear. But if he's out, I mean, they're in real trouble. They don't have DJ Reed anymore either.
I mean, the Jets are they supersede all because they don't have, again, when you're a bad team and you have a bad coach, that's when you get outputs like the Jets and what the Titans were doing. Like the Jets are bad, but their coach is worse than their talent. And that's just a problem.
People mentioning that I didn't throw Justin Jefferson in there. Yeah, I mean, he's clearly in the conversation. I'd still put Jamar Chase ahead of him. But
think about that LSU team, man. It's nuts.
Name everybody that was on that team.
I mean, you had Burrow, Chase, and Jefferson. Let me bring up the team.
Yeah, because I know all the obvious ones, but were there some that are also just good that we forget about?
Yeah, I mean, they just had their offense was the most dominant thing I've seen. Again, they had guys that were like, so Terrence Marshall was on that team, who, again, like, he's a name, turned out to be a pro. Edwards-Helaire was on that team. Trey Palmer was on that team. Ridiculous. I mean, that's
a ton of guys that made it, and then now a bunch of guys that are elite.
Yeah, it's just that offense is just stupid. There's been a couple like that. There was a Clemson team that had like 5 good receivers when Martavius Bryant, remember him? And Hopkins and all those guys. But that LSU,
of course I remember Martavius Bryant.
Yeah, it's just such a sick team.
I don't know how much the upper tier though at wide receiver. I don't know how good it is. Like Chase and Ibuka stand out, I think, the most here. Could you go to Lamb and just try and get really weird and different? I suppose you could. Jackson Dart dropped 30 plus, but then you have Drake London at 64, right? You have pricing at wide receivers really weird this week. Sutton at 62 against Dallas, AJ Brown and Devonta Smith, 61 and 59 respectively in a home matchup, 7-point favorites against the Giants. Chris Olave just continues to produce. Remember, this is a perfect example too. Everyone counted him out as dead. When I posted a tweet with Olave in it getting ownership, like, what are you, an idiot? How could you do that? And then back-to-back 90-plus yard games, 2 touchdowns last week. I think he was in the Millie winning lineup. Like, he was in a ton of winning lineups. If you're going to keep giving Olave that much work, and he wasn't even targeted that often last game, but he's the clear number one. How do you not keep going back to a Chris Olave here? I think he's super viable. And Tampa's pass defense is vulnerable too. So T. Higgins, 5,600, Michael Pittman. Those are all the guys above 5,500 that I like. And there's a lot in that department.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not pushing back on that at all. The mid-range 4 wide receiver, I think is absolutely attackable. You mentioned Olave, who's come through. Obviously, if you play Tua, but even if you don't, Waddle is there. Higgins, if you want to be different on Cincy. Pittman, it's full of – honestly, the range between Wilson, who's hurt, and Godwin, who's hurt.
Yep.
I think I could make a case for every single player on there.
You probably could. And then you could make a case for the handful of guys above Wilson and say, bookended by Evans and Wilson, right? AJ Brown, Cortland Sutton, potentially even Rome, and clearly Drake London. You could go down this whole list and all of these guys look good. I mean, this is a really good range this week. And none of these guys, unlike running back, are egregiously priced at all.
No, again, you can pepper in 2, 3. You could put 4 if you wanted to, all on the same team because there's minimal opportunity cost.
Well, we keep getting questions about Jalen Coker. What's the infatuation with Jalen Coker this week?
There were questions about him on Sunday as well, and I truth be told, I didn't even really consider it. I couldn't tell you what he did, but
now I'll tell you who the play is. Right, I'll tell you the play down there. I was on him yesterday too, and he was fine. It's Jalen Knoll.
I tried that. It didn't work.
He was fine. He had 4 for 7.
No, I meant I took. I had some Higgins. I had some Hutchinson. I sprayed on the Texans randos, gotcha. And it wasn't well. It was actually.
I didn't have a good night, but Jalen Knoll was one of the spots that I did get right. I thought I was about to get Elijah Arroyo right. He had a big 27-yard gain on the first drive. I was like, here we go. And then
that guy, I kept thinking he was Torrey Horton. And I kept getting excited, and it was just the wrong guy every time.
Yeah, he's an athletic tight end, man. 2nd-round pick.
He's a player.
But Jalen Knoll, if he didn't earn more playing time last night, I don't know how you do. Did you see late in the first half that sick 35 or 30 whatever yard grab that he had in like blanketed coverage? I think I drafted a ton of him in best ball, so maybe I'm biased. I think Jalen Knoll is going to be good. I think he has real potential.
I mean, both of them, the Iowa States that they got, I like both those guys, so I'm fine with that.
Well, hold on. If Kirk is out and Nico's out, it may actually be worse for Knoll just because they have a horrible offensive line and all of that. But there's so many injuries to that San Francisco side. Like they just lost Huff now, who was their leading sack getter. They already lost Bosa. Warner's done for the season. I do think there comes a point where just like you can't keep making up for all of these injuries, Ben, and the pass rush stops being able to get there. So it's early in the week, but if there's no Christian Kirk and you end up having no Nico Collins, to me, Knoll and Higgins and those guys down there cheap, don't you just have to consider them?
Definitely have to consider him. I know we're not on there, but I just want to. I had him last night, and he was part of the reason I had a good night. Dalton Schultz is in a kill spot, I think, if that's the case, because they trust him immensely. His price went down. I don't really understand that.
3,300. Big game, 9 for 98. He found ways to get open too. You notice that? He was always open.
He's a good player. I don't think there's that big of a difference between, like, if we were doing tight end tiers, there's that tier with like Kincaid, Laporta, those guys. I think that actually Schultz belongs in that tier, personally.
Yeah, I'm just glad he isn't. Well, they've never really used him enough. That's the unfortunate thing.
No, I just mean from a talent standpoint. Like, he's good.
Agreed. I'm with you. Yeah. Good after the catch, too. Good. Oh, he's in chat right there. Dalton Schultz.
Oh, he came in. Yeah. He nice game last night from him.
Yeah. Hobbs, and yet the Niners keep winning. Yeah. I mean, look, I like I said, Ben and I bet the Niners. The Lions had an exorbitant amount of injuries yesterday on the defensive side. Basically, their whole secondary, they still won. That's the thing about football, especially playing at home, coming off a rough loss. Both of those teams coming off a rough loss. 1 week doesn't really mean a whole lot to the next week. I know Ben will tell you the exact same thing. So, if both of those guys are out and you just have to go cheap, I'd be more than willing to take some shots down there. Absolutely. Hey, also, Woody Marks is pretty explosive. It's about time this guy just takes over. It's about time he just takes over the backfield. Nick Chubb doesn't have anything left, man.
Yep, I concur. Is that what happened? Is that it? What's happening in Seattle? Do you think?
What do you mean?
I don't know. Charbonnet just seems like maybe he just ran good last night, but I'm a little confused at how exactly they're using it. I don't think it's the same because obviously I think Kenneth Walker's still pretty damn good player. It made me think of that game last night because the running back splits on both sides were kind of fascinating to me.
Very weird. I also didn't expect the Houston Texans to use Braxton Berrios. That threw me for a bit of a loop.
The Texans, I don't know, man. I don't know what's up with the Texans.
Me neither. But to your point about Seattle, I don't know. I don't understand the Charbonnet love. I still think Kenneth Walker's good, but whatever. That's a conversation for another day. They're on a bye this week anyway. But yep. Smalls, Nico Collins is hurt. Correct. Yep. That's what we've been saying.
Someone's going to have to catch the ball.
Someone's going to have, yep. And at 3,500, has there ever been a week this season where you desperately need some of those guys, given the running back pricing?
So again, this is where it gets kind of weird, but I can't stress how important Knoll is to Jonathan Taylor and Schultz is to Jonathan. If those guys get there, you start to open it up, and then the raw points for Jonathan Taylor, it's not as big a deal that he only got 3x his salary. Yeah, because when you're 3.3K, you can get 7x your salary. Jonathan Taylor can't do that. It's not possible. You can't get 70 points. So yeah, it'll be fascinating to see if there's other value, or will a team like the Texans be that salary relief for everybody?
And man, that's why Knoll's so interesting if things shape up that way, because Collins and Schultz had 10 targets. Knoll had 7 and only played 45% of snaps. You could see that rise. Xavier Hutchinson had 4. He had 1 reception. Higgins had 0 catches on 3 targets, and Berrios had 1 for -1 yard. Clearly, Knoll proved something. So let's just pay attention to that. It's early in the week, but worth paying attention to. If you're talking about Coker or a Jalen Knoll, I'd rather go Knoll in that spot in the event that, that happens. I think Flowers, if Lamar plays at 5,400, looks good, Ben. Mm-hmm. Sterling Shepard might be in play by default. Rashad Bateman's 4,100. I'd take some shots on that if Lamar's in. What do you end up doing with the pass catchers for Buffalo? What can you even do with them right now?
No, I mean, you can take shots to try to unlock a potent offense, or you could pass on a main slate. I tend to more pass at that point. Also, Tez Johnson. He's another one that seems, I know he's kind of living on a big play, but I think there are better flyers than trying to decipher 4 to 6 targets from seemingly a majority. This everyone eats mantra is great, but it's also extremely limiting with Buffalo right now.
Yeah. It's everyone eats because there's nobody that's good enough, to get the main course.
It's also not, that's all well and good when you're 4-0 or whatever. I want to see how that works. Because when you start losing, it's okay. Those 2 targets, those 3 targets, we need to get our good guys 8 targets and 10 targets, and we need to give James Cook the ball.
But who are the good guys is what I'm saying. They don't have, I love Dalton Kincaid. I really do. But, you don't make him a prime Travis Kelce right now, or a prime Gronk, Khalil Shakir is fine. He's not JSN. He's not even Devonta Smith. So they have to spread the ball around or just force feed James Cook.
I thought, and it has not come to fruition, that Keon Coleman is going to be a superstar, true one on the outside.
I don't think it's going to happen. I was on that.
Not right now. It's not happening.
I was on that train as well. And after week 1, I was like, "Ooh, we may, because we may be on to something." And remember how hyped up he was in the summer.
Yeah, he's got. I mean, again, I'm not too worried about it because you don't need to force it on this slate. But yeah, and that's a good point. Carolina does have some things that will cause some problems in a secondary. I will agree with that.
Yeah, absolutely. They do. Chimera DK, our friend Eric Lindquist. Make sure to check out and NBA Live Before Lock. And Eric did his betting video. Are you running the betting show tonight? Are you running the betting show on the Odd Shopper channel? DK, I mean, I guess, right? I don't know if Ridley's going to be back. This was one game. It was weird. Chigakonkwo was basically not involved at all. DK still only had 4 targets. Like, he's been involved. They got a lot of young guys that they're just kind of, filtering through. I assume the thought here is like, all right, well, they'll have to play from behind and throw the ball a lot. I don't know if I really want to take those chances against Indy this week. Like, this offense. And then the touchdown equity. I know he scored, but what is the touchdown equity with this team, Ben?
Yeah, I mean, again, you're drawing pretty thin there of what's going.
I'd rather pay a little bit more for Bateman if Lamar plays and just hope he hits him on a couple deep shots.
So would I.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. You got anything going over on tails today before we wrap this one up with the tight end position?
Oh, I got things going on. Can I say, and again, I this won't be, let's put it in context, but I brought my Ben's. One of the most common things I get on Twitter is, do you have your bet of the day video? And the answer is no, but also yes. It's for free every single day on Tails. I drop my bet of the day right in the morning. Hit 5 in a row. We're going for 6 straight. The streak is on. So I have my favorite NBA bet just dropped today for free. Go to tails.bet. It's right on the feed, on the free picks feed. You can tail that one click, and then there's he's hacking the system. He has unlimited good bets on there. So yeah, a little lake show tonight. Look at that.
Oh, yeah, because Greg's doing his bankroll builder exclusively.
Yeah, he's just crushing us all. So if you want free quality picks to Tails, I mean, I'm telling you, you're missing out if you're not on Tails. You're just simply missing out. Good, great, solid DFS betting, fantasy content. All of it is there. You pick your people, you build the following, you get notifications, and this is all free stuff.
Yeah. Can you help me get the 6K as well? That would be cool.
No, don't do that. Follow me. I got to catch up here.
Well,
follow both of us is the actual answer.
Right.
But
a rising tide lifts all ships, Ben.
Yeah, as I'm washed away in the current. But yeah, it's sure. Yeah, because you're on a cruise ship and I'm on a paddle boat getting destroyed by our government. But
dude, you're up there.
Yeah. Hey, listen, we've had full disclosure. The platform is catching a lot of steam and momentum. A lot of people are coming here and they're staying because objectively it's awesome. I said this the other day. It's my favorite product we've ever built because it's for everybody. It's for everybody. Whether you like to bet casually, you like to bet seriously, you like parlays, you like straight bets, you like to just have some fun, you want early DFS content, it's all there. There's leaderboards now, so a little competition. Yeah, place more golf bets. I got you. Golf is back. It's been in a little hiatus. I will be dropping golf content. I promise.
Also, shout out to Jake for spelling dinghy correctly. You know what a dinghy is.
Isn't it that little like tube thing? Or do I not know what it is?
It's a little boat that takes you out to a larger boat, typically. Yeah. Hey, can I get your thoughts on a bet that I have already up for week 8? It's not on the main slate. Steelers are 3.5-point home dogs against the Packers. So you got Mike Tomlin, 3.5-point home dog, extended rest coming off a tough divisional loss. Rodgers facing his former team. Packers have looked pretty average. This is why I love tails, because I love being able to put this stuff up there. It's so fun. I know the Steelers got torched last week in the secondary, but that's just such an elite wide receiver duo. So I don't know. Get the Steelers at home outside of a field goal?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you'd be right here with me this week.
I'm sure a lot will be made of it, of course, with the storylines. I don't know how good the Steelers really are. I really don't.
But how good are the Packers? The Packers
How good is anyone? That is
right.
the actual truth. The only things I know for sure are the Jets and the Jaguars are bad, which is ironic because the Jaguars are like 5-2, but I don't trust them at all.
Me neither. But I think the number here is what I'm betting. Like I'm getting them at home. A Mike Tomlin coach team is typically very good as a home dog. Like getting him outside of a field goal feels like a pretty good spot at home, coming off extended rest and a bad divisional loss. It's just the number, Ben. It's not the Rodgers revenge.
No, definitely. I would hope not. That doesn't mean anything. Yeah, I tend to be on. Listen, you tell me you're betting a home dog more often than not. I'm gonna have some interest.
Yeah, home dog, Tomlin home dog.
Yeah.
So yeah. Did anyone hit some long shots this week? This is a fun way to find new people.
Yeah,
too.
There's been a couple of absurd ones.
This week, the biggest is Supreme Juice plus 929.
Yeah, that'll apply.
Most profit this week?
Sam Smith.
Hey, Sam Smith.
The man plus who sends you the good emails.
7 units. Gotta love it, man. I fell off that. I was up there until yesterday.
I'm climbing in NHL. I had a good NHL night last night.
Nice.
So
there's some good guys on here for sure. Anyway, check it out. A lot of fun. Tight end position before we say goodbye. I can't pay for Ferguson this week, man.
No. I'll pay for Tyler Warren, though.
I'll pay for Warren. Kittle's tough. They're just using him to block so much, and you saw the effect it had with Christian McCaffrey. Maybe Harold Fannin, but Dylan Gabriel, man. Come on now. I'd go to Kincaid probably. Dallas Goedert. You know why Dallas Goedert's so interesting? They're using him in all these unique ways at the goal line, right? With these trick passes and shit, like these shovel passes and stuff and these weird blocking schemes. Evan Ingram against Dallas. There's no Gadsden on this slate, so that kind of stinks, but he would be chalk anyway after last week. We got there early. Pitt's got Miami. Would you consider like as Isaiah Likely at 2,600 or Mark Andrews at 3,600? Oh, and I shouldn't bury the lead, Ben. Like with all the injuries to Tampa, K. Dotton at 3,300 is very obviously a good play.
Yeah, to me, tight end is, if we don't get value, pay down central, possibly double up, pay down central.
I think you're right.
Just to open it up.
Otten just has to be, right? He just has to
Schultz, to me. I feel like they're one and the same, and they're the same price, ironically. So,
now that you mention it, this range. So, Noah Fant, because Gesicki's on the IR. I don't know if Hudson's going to play, but they've got a lot of injuries. Juwan Johnson got back to another, 7-target game. He's somewhat viable, but Schultz and Otten, like Fant, Schultz, and Otten there to me, all make a lot of sense.
Yeah. Again, not only do they make sense independently, this is something that's not talked about enough. They make sense in the complexity of the slate, which is really important. Sometimes a guy makes sense, but it doesn't really work. It's a puzzle piece. And it's like, well, it doesn't fit with what I'm trying to do. These guys also fit the theme of the week.
Give me a defense under 3K.
By the way, the Cowboys defense last week did work out for me. They were my best.
Did or didn't?
Did. They scored.
Yeah.
Under 3K. All right, I'm going to give you a good one here.
I got a good one too. Usually you and I kind of hover around the same spots.
This is a pretty bad week. I'm going to have to go with Carolina.
I knew it. That's the first one. I knew you were going to do that.
Yeah. Cincinnati's obvious. Everyone's going to do that.
Cincinnati's going to be chalk, and Bengals chalk. I'm good on that, dude.
Muhammad gets it. Ravens. That's another good.
That's the other one. That's the other one.
That's a good answer.
Ravens and Panthers were the two. Hey, these two home teams under 3. Muhammad's on point today, dude.
Yeah, he knows what's going on. That's a good one.
Yeah, getting on some of the contrarian stuff. But yeah, I had 4 teams written down. It was Bengals just because you have to have them written down, but Panthers, Ravens, and I did throw the Saints in there as well. Just in the event that Baker's got like nobody to throw to. That's not the craziest idea, Saints playing at home in a dome, but I think Baltimore would probably be the one for me.
Mm-hmm.
Their defense is not as bad as they've looked. Like, I'm not saying they're elite anymore. They're not a $2,800 defense at home if you've got Lamar out there moving the football.
They're also off a bye, getting healthier at home. Like, yeah.
We'll wrap it up with this. Let us know in the comments, or if you guys are watching live right now, let me know. Also, leave a podcast review if you're listening on the podcast. And if you guys have joined Tails, you guys have been so supportive to this channel, and genuinely we appreciate you for all of that. We say it a lot, but it's true. Like this show specifically, a lot of the same people hanging out. We love football because we're here on a Tuesday on opening day for NBA. If you guys did download the Tails app and you enjoy it, and you're following me and Ben or anybody, if you could take a second, to review it and rate it, goes a long way, because you guys know how the App Store works, right? Like without ratings and reviews, it's really hard to get any type of discovery or identification. When you do that, it really helps us out. So appreciate you in advance. I know a lot of you guys already have, so thanks. But yeah, if you could take a second, leave a rating and a review. At the very least, maybe you don't have a lot of time, even just a rating. Thank you for that.
Yes, thank you. I talked about this before the show with you, Loughy. I was saying this audience is one of our most ride and dies. So I know everyone's really busy, but if you have 2 minutes today, because it takes literally that long, and you have the Tails app, just give us a quick review. It really goes a long way. You'd be doing us a big favor, and we're going to keep it rolling. It's great times. If you have questions on anything, you know where to find us, right on the Twitter sphere. I'm going to be dropping some real weird early greasy stacks. I'm going to find my 1% stack this week and see what we can do. I hope it's not Miami.
Well, I love this because it's something I've forgotten to do over the first handful of weeks. Top 3 stacks to close it out, Ben. Who do we got?
All right.
You got to get a little weird, right? We can't be afraid. We can't be afraid to have another Justin Fields take. That's when this show goes downhill. Because
that's not my problem.
When those takes work, they win you a shit ton of money.
Yeah,
and I'm never going to go away from
that. All right. Denver, very obvious.
Now, how would you play the stack? Would you double it? Okay.
Skinny with Sutton.
All right. Can I tell you what I do there?
Sure.
I have no problem. But Sutton, Dobbins, no Knicks to me, I think is very viable as well. Wide receiver, running back, no quarterback.
I'm fine with that. Give me. So this is a caveat. I don't know if Lamar is good. If he is good, it would be him plus Flowers plus a tight end potentially.
Okay. And we got one more.
You're not gonna like this. Stroud plus 2.
Couple people mentioned that in chat, actually.
Yeah, Stroud with Schultz, and then
why wouldn't I like it? I mean, wait, is this under the assumption that Collins is in?
No, assumption that he's out, actually.
Okay. So McCaffrey what you could do there is, if you even get a decent game out of Stroud and his pass catchers, you don't need a lot. Stroud could give you 18, and say you went Knoll and Schultz and they combined for, like, let's say 30, and then you can literally load up on everybody else. It actually makes a ton of sense. So I'm not opposed to it at all.
Oh man. I wish I could do the show for 4 hours.
I know. I just looked at the time. I hadn't even noticed what time it was. I'm with you on Lamar. Absolutely. Probably skinnies, maybe even doubles, though. Especially if Henry ends up being chalk, you could get away from that and go like Jackson, Flowers, Bateman, or Andrews. That's a very fun way to build a lineup. I'll go. Ooh.
Yeah, it's not that easy.
It's not. I want to say Penix, and I think you can still stack him with Bijan. Like, what if you went Penix, Bijan, and London? It's actually not that expensive.
No, you can do that. You absolutely can do that.
You throw the Ravens D in, you got 5,400 remaining. Say I play like a Jalen Noel or something like that at 3,500 under the assumption that maybe Kirk is out again and you have no Nico. Now you're almost 6K. You can start building out a decent lineup here. Obviously, I'm doing this off the top of my head. Say you throw Derrick Henry in there, and then maybe you go 30. What? Give me a good tight end here. I'll go Otten in this spot. You get $7,100 remaining. Now you could even throw a Jamar Chase in there with it. $6,100 for the flex. You get AJ Brown. So now you've got Penix, Robinson, Henry, London, Jalen Noel, Chase, Otten, Brown, and Ravens. That's a sick lineup, and I just built that in 30 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, again, pay down quarterback opens it up. I'm just messing around right now. I built a Texans stack that has McCaffrey and Jonathan Taylor.
So what? Is it Schultz and Noel?
It's not that bad. It works fine.
Is it Dalton Schultz and Jalen Noel?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's sick. My third one, God, nobody's going to want. Maybe they will. Are people going to go back to Hurts?
Some, but I don't think many, honestly.
Yeah. Might be Hurts. What about Fields?
No one will do that. I'll do that, but normal people won't do that now.
No one's going to do that, man. The Bengals coming off an electric win at home against the Steelers as 5.5-point dogs. Is there a greater letdown spot in the world, Ben, than this? You guys, please just tune out now. Leave the show if you have to. I'm just thinking, is there a greater letdown spot in the world than team just bench their quarterback, Bengals are on a run, and then the Bengals just lose?
Yep. That's the NFL for you.
Yep. Do you know what the spread on that game is?
It's got to be a lot. It should be a lot.
Yeah. But don't you think it's kind of amazing that the Bengals are 7-point home favorites against anybody?
Sort of, but not. The Jets are awful.
They're terrible. Anyway, follow Ben at JazzRaz Bets. Follow him over on Tails. Download the app. Fun show, man. Very fun show.
Always is.
Hit me up at Loughy_D. And remember, whether you want to get the Sims for free, you can do that in the link in the description, as many months as you can add. Not only that, though, but we've got the NBA promo. Make sure to jump in. Links down there. $1 for Tuesday and Wednesday. Some monster slates, monster payouts. Or if you wanted to take 20% off any NBA or All Access monthly package, that link, they both auto-load the promo code. You don't need to do anything but click them, and you are good to go. And if you're already an existing sub and you want to upgrade to All Access, just email us, and we'll take care of you. Anyway, appreciate you guys as always. Bit of a long show today, but we have fun on Tuesdays, and we'll see you back here for the next one. Bye-bye.